first full year.
Yeah, first full year on my own.
Okay,
Yep.
because I think I met you in Collective Genius. I think I met you, I want to say our first in-person meeting was like maybe September.
December 2020.
Oh, it was December.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It was December. It was right before Christmas.
Down in Clearwater. Yep.
So that was you're wrapping up your first full year. Because I was like, man, like this kid's got like a really bright future. Obviously, we're well past bright future. You're living it. But I remember like just thinking like this kid's got a really bright future. So let's talk about that journey. What was your very first year like? Especially you got to, experience it during COVID.
Yeah, well, that's fun. We're in Alabama, so
COVID didn't really
was
happen.
like 3 weeks long. But
it's pretty much how it was here in Arizona.
Yeah, exactly. So that didn't affect much, but yeah, learned a lot going on my own. It's very difficult going somewhere. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know a single buyer, anybody at all. And establishing those relationships right away. And then that first full year, 2020, it was just me and me, Eric, and one other employee who's an acquisition sales rep. I think we did right at 65, 70 deals, right at 700,000 in revenue. And going into that December 2020 CG meeting, we were kind of, thinking, man, we're the top dogs here in Montgomery. We're going to go in here. Maybe we'll learn some stuff from some guys, but we'll also probably teach some people too. Mm-hmm. And we walk in there and it feels like it's a room full of sharks and we're this little minnow, like, oh my gosh. But it also, what that really did for us was, we thought up to that point that the most deals you could ever do in Montgomery, it's 400,000 metro population was, maybe 85, 95, maybe 100 deals in a really good year. And then we go walk in there and we see, people like Eric Brewer doing 400 deals in York, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. You see Irby doing 100 plus deals in each of their small little markets, and it really changed our mindset of what's possible. And that is what empowered us to go back and say, all right, we are going to turn the dial up on marketing. We are going to hire more people, and there's going to be a return. It's not going to be for nothing. And that's what allowed us to have a really great 2021 and actually do 152 deals just in that Montgomery office.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Well, and you talk about, right, like you felt like you're the top dog and you went over there and you learned a little bit of humility, right?
Oh, big time.
And I kind of made the joke earlier. I was on a coaching call and I kind of shared like, well, we won't be doing any coaching calls next week because I'm going to get humbled next week.
Yeah.
Right.
Every time I go, we get a big slice of humble pie.
Yeah. It's like, man, they're doing what? How's that possible? And you ask. And so like, it's really cool. Like for those guys that are listening to the show, right? You're hearing all these guys are doing really big things. We're sitting in a room and like everyone's kicking our butts.
Yeah.
So it's always a good experience.
It is. It really is.
Okay, so then what were the big things that you guys did in 2020 that helped you guys a lot?
In 2020?
In 2020.
In 2020.
Or what lessons did you learn along the way?
We learned some lessons. At that point, I feel like, we're a real company now. Back then, it just felt like, it was 3 dudes just wheeling, dealing deals all day. No structure, hardly any processes or systems. But we figured out who the players were in the market. We figured out a few marketing strategies that worked in our market. And that was about it for 2020. Just getting up and working hard every day was what empowered us to do those deals. It wasn't really any sort of structure or process for that.
Yeah. And then you said you went from 70 something to 140 something?
Yeah. So in just the Montgomery office, we went from just at 70 deals in 2020 to 152 closed in 2021.
Okay, so more than double your operation. So you felt like you were the big dog.
Yeah.
And then you more than doubled your production.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the key things you guys did to help you grow so much in 2021?
Yeah, I think I like to say that we came up with some kind of cool new strategy or process, but it really was just a lot of stuff that that we learned in those quarterly meetings and taking those back and implementing them. The number one thing was really just having the confidence because we already had a small amount of structure, a good CRM, a few good processes and systems, but having the confidence to go in and actually say, all right, we are going to hire 2 more acquisition sales reps. We are going to hire a dedicated inside sales rep. We're going to hire a full-time transaction manager, and we're going to increase our marketing budget from $10,000 a month to $40,000 a month. Mm-hmm. And learned a lot of lessons along the way by doing those things, and had good fits, bad fits on the people side. That was the number one thing, is just realizing that we weren't going to hire these people and turn the marketing up and then just have to fire them all because there's no more deals to be had.
Right.
Just realizing how deep you can go in an individual market. That was the number one reason I think we were able to have as much success as we did in 2021.
So basically, seeing a similar blueprint as far as organization structure and going back and executing it, and then also having the confidence / courage, because it takes a little bit of that, just start spending $40,000 a month.
Yeah.
So realizing if A, we need to hire the right people, and then B, once we hire the right people, we need to increase marketing.
Yep.